we all have a need to feel like we belong and a need to feel like we can contribute in some way and bring joy to others and bring hope to others, and as well as feel hope ourselves. It's really easy in a big group of people, for especially shy individuals, to get lost, just to come and kind of melt into the background and not make that connection, especially if they're not people that initiate the connection themselves. There's so many people who, when I first came back, reached out to me just by saying hi or telling me about opportunities or smiling, and the opportunities just to be part of the body around here, to clean up the church space, to help with tree and trunk. There were just so many opportunities, not just to serve, but to meet people and serve. And since I don't have a clue what my purpose is right now, to give me an opportunity to explore that here. And one of the things I really liked most was that it seemed like every group of folks that I hung around here, everybody's very welcoming. It didn't matter who I was or wasn't. It was just everybody pitched in and was very friendly, and it felt like God was just saying, don't worry about it, just come and I'll help you along the way, just trust me.
The church is just really compelling. I'll tell you, to be honest, I have not been active in a church since high school, so like 8 years ago. I have not been active, and this is the first church where I am feeling compelled to come again, like feeling like I'm actually connecting with something higher than myself, like God in church. I have not felt that way since like church retreats when I was in high school. Here I'm feeling like I'm really getting something out of it, and I think the community and everything involved, all the components, they just equal something that just feels really right. I can feel God's presence in this community, and it's awesome because it's been a long road since the last time I really did feel it. So it's exciting.
One of the biggest highlights I would say is our family coming together more, and Brad and I representing that we are a Christian family.
I've never been to a church where they encourage people to go out to the world and speak the truth or live your life for God versus stay in the church and do it. Stay in this church and do it, and then go out and then come back. They encourage you to go out. Whatever that calling is, they're excited to support you in doing whatever that may be.
And I think a lot of churches do the things versus being with God, having God in your heart. And I think that's what we're getting here, is that we are truly being it. And I think that's what shows. I think that's why it's different.
The way we ended up coming to Cathedral was because of Susan Bauer, because of just meeting her. She was one of the first moms I met, or first people I met when we moved to the Tri-Cities, and our kids were 2 and 4 at the time. And she came knocking on the door and introduced herself and invited us to church. And at the time, I was so not interested. Sunday was for coffee and a newspaper, but Susan extended the invitation, and it just kind of sat there for, oh my gosh, probably about 6-7 months. We did nothing. And then finally she extended it again and met us at our house, and we followed them to church. And I think that people don't know that one small invitation can turn into so much more. We have been there consistently since then, and I think you just don't know who you might reach out to and extend that invitation to, and it might change their lives, because it has certainly changed me.
It was kind of a big revelation for me that was really cool, because I think that's where we've been heading anyway, where we really have been focusing not inwardly on how do we build a bigger church, how do we have more and more numbers, how do we bring people here, how do we help them find their calling, and then how do we go back out. I think that's been the biggest thing that's been different about Cathedral, that's different than any other church I've ever had anything to do with. And I grew up in a church, but it was so fundamentally different.
It's okay to grow at the cathedral. We're not all there knowing it all. I hadn't read anything before I went there. It hadn't been a part of my life. We were going there for our children. It was for them, and I could stare out those big, beautiful windows, and I was just going to sit there. I wasn't going to pay attention. And I guess it got me. But I think that's the biggest thing, is I didn't go there knowing anything, and I'm still learning and I'm still growing. And I absolutely love the family that's there for me, because when I have questions, they're there to help. I think that's one of my favorite parts about Cathedral, is I'm building relationships with people and they're growing as well.
Gayla handed me a book and said, I signed you up for the women's Bible study, and I went and I'm at Sarah Wazowskis' table, and it was nice to come and meet real, authentic, wonderful women of God, and to see that those are people at my church that I can rely on and get prayer requests to, and they really have helped me out within the last 2 months of my life already. At this point, authenticity is huge for me. I love to come and listen to Brian talk and know that he is real. He is a human just like I am, and to hear him talk about the Jesus Creed, and I bought that book and I read that book and I waited like 5 days to read day 40 because I didn't want it to be over. And then when I walk around the campus, people genuinely smile at you, and it's real people. It's not a facade. I love my church. I will never, I had tried other churches. I'd never considered another church my church home. This is where we are and need to be as a family to help other people in the world. And so that's why we're here.